Doing roll call. Taylor, do you need to start recording?
We are responding.
Taylor Brill. Here. Beth Corelli. Alex Olmsted. Patty Inglis. Here. Rick Irwin.
Here.
Judith Mann. Trish Moyko Tobin. Here. Is that correct?
Yes.
Janice Seal. Here. Chance Shapiro. Montrose is here. And Chief Ellis. So,
Thank you.
Judy.
Russ is
here. All right. And David Franklin. Any guests?
No, yesterday.
Okay.
Okay. Great. Do we have does anybody have any changes to the minutes, or do we have a motion to approve minutes?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Second, any discussion? All in favor?
I.
Okay, there is one aye. All in favor?
Oh, hi.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carried, minutes are approved. Old business, sculpture garden description plaques. Did they get in sometime?
No,
No.
I didn't check, but I don't think so. I hadn't heard.
They did not.
Oh, they did not? Okay.
Just wanted to 100% verify that, that the names are accurate. I think I followed an email with you.
Right,
The
right.
mail. Okay.
Yeah.
You might have sent me that it was.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
No, okay. I just wanted to verify. Okay.
Okay, so then we can put in the
Then I
order
will-
officially and
Then I will, put in that order in graphics and work with the city on that.
we ought to be thinking too. I don't know what the situation at the rec center and other sculptures, just to make sure all the labels, plaques are
working.
okay or legible.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Because they weren't all done at the same time. I think the type that was done at the sculpture garden is not what's done everywhere. So the others might be fine. Just
so
should be
where
monitoring
are
that.
the locations that we need to check those?
Well, there's backflip, and I haven't really looked at that for a long time. Then there, the Brother Mel, Catherine Mogul.
And the Brother Mel are at the rec center,
At the rec center, right? The three.
and the Catherine
And then
Marble
Catherine,
is.
well, there are two other Catherine Moguls, one at the rec center and one at Eden Seminary.
Is that the same one as the one on campus?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. After hours, I think it's called. Yeah.
And are there any others that have plaques that we should be taking a look at?
I don't think so. I don't think we have installed other public sculptures.
So we can check on it. In addition to that, and Rick, what I noticed when we were walking around the sculpture park is there's a trova that's rusting.
Oh, yeah.
So, what do we do about that?
So when we receive them, and it is our obligation to maintain them, we had them spray painted by Auto.
Auto
I think
Beauty?
Everybody said that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Auto Beauty, but some. But yeah, I think the idea is we do need to, so. Obviously you can't just respray them, you have to treat the rust.
Right, yeah.
I suppose we need to have a objects conservative.
Yeah.
I mean, I can, well, right now at the museum, we don't have an objects conservator. And I don't know if there's a freelance, let me find out what I can.
So you'll find out.
They're freelance in St. Louis.
Yeah.
There's a few.
Okay, so maybe Rick can do
Yeah.
that. Yeah, great.
But we've had a few come to the museum for my cause pieces and stuff, do repairs. So I'll look and see who I had.
Oh, great. So you'll check on that?
So what is he checking on?
He's going to check to see if there's a conservator who can look at the trova piece in the sculpture garden.
Yeah, and
Which
we
is
should look at
rusty.
Both, obviously, because they're.
Oh, there are
the same
two-
kind.
which
There's two
are-
trophy pieces,
Okay.
yeah.
we should-
And we just, yeah,
Uh-huh.
they're the same material and everything, so.
Yeah, we were wandering around and we were like, oh,
Yeah, yeah. It does happen.
Okay. Thank you, Rick. Anything else with the descriptive plaques? The renaming ceremony recap, Dottie, and first of all, thank you, everybody. It sounded as though it was a great,
It was
so
wonderful.
thank you
Yeah.
for leading it, and Rick, thank you for working with, with Andresco to make sure it happened, and it looked great and was installed, even the last minute adjustment, I think that even looks.
Yes, yes, I,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, absolutely. I
when
thought
you-
it went really well and everybody, I mean,
Right.
it was really wonderful to have talked about something for a long time and to achieve it. And I think we all felt like it was great to be doing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it was a nice crowd. I think it was about 80, maybe 80 somewhere in there. And it was convivial. People, despite the, you know, the
Yeah,
rain.
it wasn't
the
ideal
cliffing.
weather, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
we almost, you were ready, maybe
Yeah.
consider calling it off.
Well, we had to consider it.
Yeah,
just
because of the band.
Because of the
Yeah,
band and the electronics. And then I think a couple of other band folks came in and said, nah, we're good.
Yeah, they
And
were
it's
great. I
right,
mean,
but
Mike Silverman.
Back
should
to the
get
Future
some
is
sort of
lovely.
award.
They
Yeah.
did a beautiful job.
Mhm.
And all the departments that supported us.
Yeah.
were
And thank you for
amazing.
pulling everybody together.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, city.
I was gonna say,
It
big,
happened.
big kudos.
Thank you, chief.
Yeah.
Very welcome. It was well
One
worked out.
small thing I need to bring up is Lauren Bacher contributed to the sculpture garden and was not acknowledged in our, and I just want to make sure she knows we cashed the check because she was worried at first that we never got it. So whatever
Okay.
happened, but that also may mean there might be other people that we didn't.
That sounds like he gave us the names of people who did it digitally, but not people who mailed in digital.
Yeah, right.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Okay.
So we need to ask them for the full list
Uh-huh.
Right.
of donors, not just the people who
We
did
did
it
thank you
online.
guys to everybody on that list.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because
Yeah.
I even sent a note saying, could we check it again? Because there was one woman who actually called me to ask how she should do it,
Uh-huh.
and she was not on the city's list. So I
Uh-huh.
thought, well, maybe
Okay.
she never.
You're right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
but maybe she should send a check in.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I verified with finance, that was the most recent list they had
Yeah.
based on contributors.
So we do need to check this because I sent thank you notes to everybody that had contributed.
Yeah.
So
Can you make sure that you give specific names, that specific names, so that when we do a follow-up, we can mention specific names that we think were meant,
So what
so then they
name-
can maybe see.
Who might have been this?
Well, it was Lauren Bacher,
Okay.
KK, I think it's
Yeah.
how she spells her name. And her husband, I'm forgetting,
Peter Bach.
Peter.
Yeah, and then also, I was looking for Tony Hunt, who is the person who called me,
Right.
and I never saw him.
Yes, oh, I'm sure she would have.
But those still should have gone to the public art fund. So if they just came into the city and weren't applied, where did they go? Because we
Yeah.
may have more money in our public art fund. That's
Yeah, I'll
that's not
email
in the fund.
finance and see what they have. what-
Yeah, because those ones,
Those names.
Yeah.
yeah. 'Cause we need to pull them into our fund.
And see how they,
Yeah.
they donated and if, make sure there wasn't a glitch, maybe they don't.
Right. And-
The wrong box or something.
And then, if they make sure we get the funds into our fund, into our fund, and also if you let us know so we can write thank you notes. That's really
Yeah.
important. So,
Yeah.
It's very
anything,
nice. I got thank you notes. I got it. So that's very nice.
And so what is our next step to get the other signed?
well,
Do
we
we
need the money.
just wait until we raise
Raise
enough
money.
money?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we need, and we think we have what now, 3,000?
About, 500 and potentially more if money is being due.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
And it was, what was the cost? It was 12 then?
no, in total, it would have been, a slightly over 15 because each half.
Yeah,
is like-
yeah, okay, so we're looking at sort of
7,500,
75.
7,800.
All right,
Yeah.
so we're within shot.
Yeah, we are.
And the other thing, since I don't see it, which is about the sculpture park, not exactly about this, but are we gonna evaluate the contract for Catherine to come in and repair her
Well, I thought we already approved that.
Oh, well, I wasn't at the last meeting, so maybe you did.
We
Okay,
did.
okay,
We did.
great.
Because
She didn't mention it.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean it.
well, with that, then, Brett, when we approved it, you sent it in, and so do you know what the process is after that?
Help me out with what we're.
Beth made a
The
motion to accept the
repair.
maintenance bid,
Update.
and proceeded with the necessary
Yeah.
work. And
Okay.
So
The
we
maintenance.
approved the sculpture bid.
Or is it like, I don't remember there was a couple different maintenance
Yeah,
bids out there.
there was one maintenance bid and one bid for new work, but the maintenance bid to repair this sculpture, I believe it was 25, well, actually, it's in our notes.
A repair bid in the amount of $2,090 was received for maintenance repair work, Earth Rabbit after hours and inflorescence, the balance of the art fund. Brett will
so
okay. Beth made a motion to accept the maintenance bid in the amount of $2,090 and proceed with the necessary work. Trish seconded the motion, we unanimously approved. So now we need to get that word
Yeah.
over to the finance department
Yeah,
to approve the contract,
and actually, I'm looking
I
at,
would assume.
and actually, I'm looking at this, minutes, it should be the motion to make sure that nobody thinks that
The motion.
the second
Okay.
paragraph was
Yeah.
approved.
Janice, do you have the actual contract?
Um,
Maybe that's the missing part. I
I-
haven't seen the contract.
I emailed it to everybody last month,
Okay.
so I don't have it with,
Oh, yeah, no,
Yeah.
Okay,
no, actually, I did not email it, I printed it, but it's. So if you need it, you can.
I mean, a digital copy would be helpful, so I can send it on to.
The other thing I wanted to ask, for receipts, there's in our commission packet, there is a form to fill if you want the city to pay for something. But there is not that I saw a reimbursement form. Is there a reimbursement form that we should? go
I'll
through?
ask finance. I mean,
Yeah, and-
money wise, that's all.
Yeah, because
But-
several commission members bought things for their event.
So reimbursement form.
Yeah.
Clearly you need to get
And
a
procedures.
balance. Need to get a balance of the account since,
So, and if it's possible, if you find that, when you find that form, could you email it to everybody so that people can send their receipts in quickly?
Yep.
Yeah, thank you for making it happen, everybody. Sounds like a great day. Anything else on the park, sculpture park? Okay, because of me, we didn't have the roundtable discussion last month because of us.
Yeah.
So I'm actually gonna meet with Laura Arnold in the morning to see what might be a good time to, I mean, obviously going into December is not a good time, but to see when we should reschedule. So as soon as I get some potential dates, I'll email that to people, see what works out. So our next, maybe we can start to actually plan that. But it'll probably be late January, early February is I'm thinking. Anything else on that? And new business, public spaces for public art. And has anybody responded yet on where or how we can put art on?
I sent that email to the city manager and to our planning and development team. And there's a list of questions that the commission would need to answer. So I will send you the questions.
Okay.
You'll discuss.
Great.
Wait,
I'm
so
sorry, I was thinking
I'm
something else.
unclear.
So if they send you the questions, maybe we can send it to everybody and we can discuss that at our next meeting, kind of go over what the thoughts were and what we would need to do to answer those questions.
So sorry, what was the main takeaway from that discussion? I wasn't paying attention.
Public Works needs to send us a list of questions to be answered before they can tell us where or how we could, put art on or in public spaces.
So are you saying the designation or identification of places? Or simply what would be the procedure if we had a work of art to get it placed somewhere?
Well, it's kind of both. We need, both. If we have a piece of public art, but we were also talking about, could we have artists paint some, you know, where could we have artists paint? If they do, if they wanted to do it, if we wanted to have somebody do a mural someplace, or paint some of our utility boxes, or,
Yeah.
you know, what are the procedures for putting art
Right.
of any sort on
Yeah.
public spaces?
We could ask, you know, the hardware, Schnorr's Hardware has Marilyn Bradley's, so she would, I don't know if that is helpful, but she would have gone through some sort of
She
procedure.
asked him directly.
She just asked him and did
Yeah,
it.
that's
Okay.
generally,
There were no procedures.
sounds-
Got it.
Yeah.
We need procedures.
yeah.
I think it's multifaceted because of different entities, ordinances, approvals, those kind of things. I mean, if you're painting a box, an Ameren would have to
Right.
have a hand in that if you're, so.
Yeah.
There
So
was
if
like
it's-
7 or 8 questions.
Okay.
I'll send you.
It's probably safety
You
issue.
should also go figure out.
Doing something on the
point.
outside of the building.
Mhm.
Well,
Another option would be if they wanted to come, have a representative come and talk to us.
That'd be a great idea.
Ooh.
Sure. We wait for hours for them, help us on
Um,
power pole fires, so,
Oh.
but, you know, never know. Yeah, thanks, Rick.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, you can always ask and they can say,
Yeah.
sure.
Absolutely.
But if we, even if we just get their questions, they'd probably,
Yeah.
they can give us those.
Interestingly, when I was on the hill a couple of weeks ago, all of the fire hydrants on the hill are painted.
Yeah. They shouldn't be, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, color's critical for the size mains that we have, so how much volume based on the color. but
And it's
So,
good
yeah.
to know.
Especially with our well-lit city at night.
Yeah.
We pull up
True.
for, try to figure out
That's true.
to catch a hydrant, so anyway.
Is there any, I mean, we're constantly complaining about that. Is there any long-term plan to better the lighting in the city? Okay, that's interesting advice.
Yeah, probably not my place to speak on that.
Okay,
I'm
all
not
right,
the
sorry.
subject matter expert on
Awkward.
illumination in the city and
Yes.
migrating birds. I think that's what it's.
Uh,
So.
Okay.
I'm a fire chief, so. I would like more lighting because kids walk at night, but that's my opinion.
Sure.
Okay. Sunshine laws. Right, you don't have to listen.
Yes, that's riveting. It's actually, it was really interesting. What it comes down to is if you have any meeting whatsoever, even if it's by email, and you have a quorum, it has to be accessible to be viewed by any citizen who wants to request that information. See what I'm saying? So, you know, a lot of times we're doing a BCC to everybody and everybody responds into what that effectively becomes a meeting. But it hasn't been called, it hasn't been published, it hasn't been sent out for the public to be able to know. So it's a subtlety, but it's a logical, you know.
But you can notify people, they just can't respond.
Yes, so that's why going forward, no BCs, no, do BCC not reply all as we go forward. Does that make sense? I noticed you did that on a couple of things you sent out. as well.
So you do BCC because,
You can't, everybody doesn't respond to everybody. If they respond to the person who sent the email, and then that person can tally what the responses were and then send out an announcement, but it's not a meeting because
It's not officially.
it's not a meeting.
so like if I say, hey, here's some dates that are available to do the next roundtable, what looks best, everybody, I should send a BCC.
And then send back to us what the vote, what the
Okay.
response
So
was.
BCC everybody, but
So you
CC.
just send it to
CC.
yourself and then
Yeah.
blind copy all of
But
us.
CC. Right.
That's why I typically just email you
Yeah.
as chair.
Yeah. And yeah, it is a really interesting, it took me, and it took everybody at the meeting a while to follow the logic tree of why that is. I mean, now subcommittees are slightly different because you don't have a quorum in subcommittees, you know, as we know, you have to have our six. But if there's less than people in a subcommittee, it's not a meeting anyway. Because you can't vote really in a subcommittee
Okay,
of a small size that's not quorum, that is in any way official. Does that make sense?
so if we ever have a subcommittee meeting, if it's 5 or fewer, we're fine. If it's 6, then we need to.
Because that's not a
and
meeting,
keep
right, that's
notes
not a
and-
meeting of the commission. Does that make sense? I mean, really, it took a good,
I just didn't realize that emails were included under the meeting definition.
well, they are if 6 or more people are on it and responding to each other via email, that's a meeting. It's technically because you're discussing, but you're discussing piece by piece, but it's in terms of the information, it's the same thing.
Additionally, be aware that, and I don't know if this was discussed at the meeting, but as somebody who works within sunshine requirements, if a person makes a request for information from a municipality about a certain subject and they say X sort of parameters, and a part of that is going to be, let's say, the sculpture garden, then the attorney, the city will pull all conversations around sculpture garden that touch on the city. So it's going to pull any conversations from the Parks Department, anything from Chief Ellis, from what he was sending around. And all of that anything you're sending to Webster.city. Whatever the handle is going to be a part of public record and can be pulled down for any specific request from anybody. So there's both like the pull down request and then also the requirements of following what needs to be put out publicly to be in compliance with that.
So anything you write.
Anything you write to a
Could
city.
become public, so just be conscious.
Yeah.
Because we might be evaluating a sculpture and somebody makes something that could be interpreted as kind of a snide remark, but they don't choose to have it, which could come back to haunt.
Yes.
I just assume everything gets sunshine.
Mhm.
Whenever I put it
It's
on.
the easiest way to be.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's in writing. right?
It really is the
Well,
easiest
and
way to think
technically,
about
once it's on
everything.
an email, who knows
Right.
where it's gonna end up.
Again, that also refers to minutes, when minutes like made for subcommittees and turned in.
Yeah, and those could be distributed to the group and that would be open to the sunshine law.
Do those need to be proactively published or are they just stored for
I
a
think-
responsible?
I think part of it is its storage. Okay, it's the same reason we can't use our own Google Drives.
Correct.
We have to use, so that it's also facilitating to have it all in one place.
Right.
It's all the commissions.
So then is the city rolling out city specific commission storage that we can use or? Because we don't have that right now, and so the only storage solution we have is our personal Google Drives.
I believe there is some.
I can't answer that. I'm not IT, but I can tell you that the Google Drives, that was not say advocated to use, but it's not endorsed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who can I chat with about that?
I mean, Katie's good,
Katie.
city clerk is good. Then if it's a specific IT question, you can.
That's what I got.
Next item is just really brief because we're really. Johnny and I went to a meeting as did, well, actually, now we're talking about sunshine laws, should every communication I give you refer to you as Chief Ellis to make it more official?
I'm good.
Okay,
I don't need to
okay.
know it's.
Okay, I was just wondering whether for sake purpose you did do that. A performance park, so there was a meeting couple of weeks ago with the city, called by the business manager, Mary Peoples, about the performance park. And there's a performance park that was approved as part of the bond issue. And there were plans to put it, they were looking at where to put it, and it was a pretty large one that they were gonna try to put into Memorial Park. But then they also had laid out, the consultants had laid out a couple of other places where this larger performance park would be. Wonderfully, both Walter Parks, who is a guitarist who has played with Grateful Dead. I mean, he performs all over the world.
Yeah, they do the Baroque.
Yeah,
Yes.
and he and Margot did the Baroque concert, and Mike Silverman came in at the end, and they were both saying, you know what, we do not want the park that large. That musicians don't like to play in those, that what they were suggesting, it was great. Hop in at any time. This guy was also mentioning how it might work for theater, but Dottie and Walter and Mike were all going, really, this isn't, the atmosphere would be terrible for a performance park in the Memorial Park. There's no shade. It's all hard surfaces. Given the kind of the ethos of Webster Groves, they were recommending smaller places at a variety of parks so that there could be more performance parks and in more areas and more neighborhoods. They were saying what we really need is electricity and lighting to make some of these work and bathrooms. And also, we also brought up, well, what about a portable stage? And the city had been looking at that and talking to other municipalities, and both Walter and Mike were saying musicians hate those portable stages because the sound is horrible. So, you want to?
Yeah, and there's a lot of issues with portable stages in that putting them up requires a lot of labor. And the city doesn't have enough personnel to put them up for people, but you can't have somebody go up and take the stage and put it together who doesn't know, which is why theaters have stagehands who put things like that together for those things. And I dare say you could also run into some issues with, well, depending on the mission, the unions there as well. So it seems it's maybe not a practical proposition at this point in time. And this is, and they had gleaned this from, let's say, Brentwood and a couple of other maybe Maplewood as well, that had owned one, and it said it's really kind of a headache to maintain. And they are not inexpensive. They take maintenance, and there's a setup, there's the pull down, there's the delivery, there's the place to store it. Storage, yeah. So I think part of the reason the group was going towards a smaller idea in terms of dispersal was to have the greatest impact on the most people without it having to be in one thing.
Would they advocate a permanent structure stage at each of these smaller?
They were looking for permanent structures, but smaller structures in there, with not all the items at the big performance park. They were also saying there may be area for a few seats, but usually people bring their own. They were looking at parking at availability at all the different places, and Dottie was mentioning how a smaller stage could be used for things like the rep, the imaginary theater, and
Well, I think it's also, I mean, one of the things the different cities did say is that when they did have a permanent structure, they had a lot of weddings. Was one of the major uses of a performance space. And that was a money
Yeah, right, so.
for, so my ears perked up at money making,
Yeah.
but it's, I think that wasn't the initial reason.
It's got
Space.
wonderful, I think.
Yeah.
That people are getting married around town, and sure.
Yeah.
you could do them at the smaller spaces.
Yeah.
I think the other thing is where in the park they wanted to put it, it's kind of in the corner by the soccer field. And it impinges into the baseball and soccer field, so it's not really in like a space that looks like it's created for the stage. Does that make sense?
It's sort of inserted there.
Yeah, it's just kind of here,
Mhm.
you know, and it didn't feel,
Organic.
yeah, it did not feel organic. That's exactly right. It didn't feel organic in terms of placement. So that's I think Webster people have an aesthetic about how they want their outdoor spaces, you know, to work.
And also with the smaller spaces, we're talking about, you know, there's an opportunity to make them more artistic. A little bit more design work into it.
Make them more individual.
You know, there's a artist that we visited several times in Illinois. I'll have to go back and come in. He designs these smaller spaces. We love them. They're fabulous. We really wanted some sort of piece by him. We just never had the means to kind of carry it through. But anyway, he in several places in Illinois, he had done these small stages. We love them. So I'll ask Don Driscoll, he'll remember it.
Yes, that would be good to give to the city just to have as a resource.
But the other thing about making the money is they would have to be paying people overtime, paying them extra to put them together, because most of the things are gonna be on weekends.
Right.
And so it became a not moneymaker kind of either.
And it wasn't just the overtime pay, it was even physically getting enough people to say that they could come in.
Yeah.
And
So I don't know.
I think they were gonna, because this was, you know, after our meeting in this room, they took the boards that they had to the rec center. And because they were trying to get public input on both the performance park and the skate park.
And the skate park.
They sent a survey out on both.
Yeah.
Well, there were a lot of young people looking at the boards for the skate park.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that was there, but again, both Walter and Mike showed up to just reinforce their opinions and speak with the consultants on their ideas for Farmers Park. So I think they're gonna take everything back and just reformulate it. So
Well, I keep going back to the Shakespeare Festival as kind of the model for that, in the sense that for the first 7 or 8 years, that we had to have a portable stage, and it was just for that issue, one, to talk about portable stages. But then the second thing, it's in a bowl that's made to be a
Yeah, it just
performance
seems great.
area, you know, it's organic to that space. And now, and they, you know, so that's my experience of it, and that's why it was kind of like just to shove it into a corner of a place, it felt, you know, if we had the perfect, so maybe another thought was to look at different parks and see if there is a park that has any kind of a more natural amphitheater that we're not thinking about.
There were 5 listed in the survey, 5 or 6 part options.
Where's Burr Oak? Is that his property? Is it?
no, they do it at Larson Park. I'm not exactly.
So that is
sure.
part of Larson. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been.
Yeah.
I mean, it is exactly what you're saying. It just feels great. You have the kind of
Yeah,
lawn and trees
yeah,
and this magnificent oak at the bottom. That might be, perfect. I mean, Larson does have some wonderful little places for. Yeah.
I think there's also issues of migration and bird sanctuaries at some of our parks as well, if we're gonna do a performance thing. I was really happy that you shared that with me.
Well, because Blackburn has a bird sanctuary, and so like, do we want to bring in lights and noise, like regular lights and noise to a space like that? It's fine every once in a while, but
Yeah, it's that kind of thing to contemplate, which I was really unaware of.
Yeah.
So was I.
So it's not, it's in the talking phase. I think. And the potentially reconsidering. But the money is there to do something. So city is obligated to
Do something or something.
something or some things. It's kind of exciting.
No, it's very, yeah. I think, again, thinking historically of this commission, I mean, performance spaces have always been something we've spent a lot of time and never gotten anywhere. We spent a lot of time worrying about the Ozark. Ozark,
Yeah.
you know, making that into, because one thing, we used to have a musician on the board, Nina Andrews, she has a group. And, you know, there aren't great places for people to have small recitals, things like
Yes.
that. So we really wanted that. This isn't that, but this is certainly.
But it could be, I mean, that, it could work towards something on that.
One call.
Picture.
Yeah, I mean, again, weather would
Yeah.
be kind of.
Weather is.
Anything else on that? So we'll all hear more about it, but I was very glad that they invited us to participate in the early discussions. And that they pulled musicians into those early discussions.
I can just say too, at the naming ceremony, I just was talking to Mike and I just said, Mike, you've done so much for the commission and the city. And he says, oh, I'll continue. I mean, he is very committed to helping have music happen in certain such as that.
Anyway, thank you. Achievement in the Arts Awards.
Walk away.
You're already in. And I have nothing to really to report right now. I did speak with Danny Williams, the executive director of the rep, last month, just about timing, because we want to do something together. Right now they've got, he said he would get something to me before this meeting, but they are in the midst of planning a lot of things, including their holiday benefits. So I'm sure I'm hoping I hear something by our next meeting. Go forward, but we will definitely be doing something in conjunction with the rep, hopefully at the rep, which would be great. So, that's how I have that. It's another one that's in process.
Let's not be anything else.
Oh yeah, when we get to that one, we definitely will be pulling people together.
You might call the dean of the College of Fine Arts as a second option.
Okay.
So there's a lot of spaces
Look at it.
there.
And they can work in conjunction.
Yeah, absolutely, because they're on the same.
They own it, yeah.
Do we hope to do it before the end of the calendar year, considering that it's?
I don't think it's possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think last time we did it February, so maybe we should be, maybe it'll be another February.
Yeah, because you've got the rep and also conservatory shows ramping up.
Is that nice?
Yes, they
Yeah.
do. I like that one. Yeah, that's a
Very
nice space.
Space.
Yes. Good idea.
Maybe updates.
This may sort of fall under the other category, but when I was walking around on Halloween, I was really struck by some of the folk art that was in people's yards. And I'm not talking about their really awesome Halloween displays. I'm talking about like permanent structures that they've put up. And like I went by one house, I had a picture of it of somebody had carved out a giant mushroom, and there was even a door that opened up into like little trinkets and fun things that the kids were playing with. And so sort of like a fairy garden type thing, but you could tell that it was made out of a tree. And knowing that some other organizations in the area will do like Garden of the Month celebrations or, you know, whatever, it made me wonder, I just wanted to plant a seed for a conversation of celebrating local art that people are doing in their homes or apartments, that could be, you know, an annual highlight, like this is just a really great, you know, to celebrate Webster as an arts community, go to the individuals who are doing funky, weird, random things.
It's a wonderful idea. Yeah.
So just planting a seed, a conversation for another time.
It's great idea.
Where was this place that you saw?
I think it was on Oak Tree, a few blocks east of Glendale. I mean, of Elm.
Okay,
There was one on Rock Hill, a tree that had been carved.
Mhm.
Still there. That reminds me, are we still participating in architectural review? The architectural alliance, are they still continuing?
I haven't heard anything about it. I didn't know we ever did.
Well, again, it might have just been a function of Don Driscoll because he's involved in that. But there often was a member of the Arts Commission each year who sat on the award. Yeah. You might have, yeah, I mean. I haven't heard anything about it for years. I think they still do it, which is kind of a wonderful thing too. Celebrating people's, home renovations or. I think there's a landscaping award, a renovation award, one that sort of keeping. A renovation to the original building and then just an addition to the thing.
Yeah, we've got a new person in our, a new person in our PR department who seems really anxious to get involved. And what, I was just thinking of your idea, would be cool if we had a, we could just have Jordan take pictures and
He's
post them.
done a
in the
really
city.
good job with the city's PR. I mean, I've been seeing his post about the
Yes.
sculpture park
Yeah.
ceremony.
I was just gonna, yeah,
I mean, he's on top of things.
he was there and he was.
Oh, yeah.
Taking
yes,
pictures
yes, yeah.
and he got him up like the end of that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He really wants to, and he had the banners which I thought really made it all look a lot more professional.
Well, just to go on the middle, we frankly had we still like fun areas in town that we're doing some art. Do those scavenger hunt posted
Yeah.
for kids to go find homes.
Oh.
That'd be cheap.
You
Um,
just take a picture or selfie or something.
Art, yeah.
An art scavenger hunt, that would be very festive. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, that way also you could do where would you like to walk in Webster Groves that's interesting?
Uh-huh.
Because, one of the great appeal of Webster is that you can walk here.
You could even put together different scavenger hunts for like different sections of Webster.
Well, if we're gonna think about that started, I guess what I would kind of ask all of us to do is take note, and as we're walking around, take pictures, take down addresses and see what we can come up with.
Now, that's a fun assignment.
Uh-huh, yeah. So addresses and pictures of things that are in people's yard, it would be a fun scavenger hunt to put together. Maybe we could get that into the Webster Courier Times or a fun local activity.
How soon are we thinking? Are we thinking more like a holiday scavenger hunt since that's the theme now? Lights are coming up, going up and.
I would say spring.
Yes.
Yes,
spring,
Yeah, because
okay.
if we're talking about the permanent structures and not.
it.
And people having a chance to get dusted off from the winter.
Yeah.
But I would
Going on
love
now.
to like maybe coordinate this project, but
That'd be great.
I would not be able to start really digging into it until some parts of December or January.
I think-
November is out for me.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
We need homeowner consent too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Post, absolutely,
Yeah.
and I'm knocking on people's doors.
Well, maybe at our next meeting, and it might take a couple meetings, because obviously we have to find enough interesting places to post. But we could all, if we see something, take a picture of it, take down the address, share it at a meeting, say, what would we want? And where are they to make sure that these are all out of town, and then to your point, Taylor, thank you for bringing it up, getting homeowner consent. So yeah, it'd definitely be a spring thing.
The structure of the Webster Groves Historical Society's walking tours could be an interesting one to mimic, where they have a map and sort of a blurb on every house, and they have some neighborhood walking tours.
That's what I was thinking
Yeah.
of. Absolutely right.
Be a good template.
So that's taking our scavenger hunt and we're making it, we're not tour, walking for.
Sorry, everyone, but I have to go. I have class.
Okay.
So,
Yay.
yes,
Yeah.
sorry.
So, before we get our minutes out, I'm gonna send a note to everybody on our commission to start walking, looking, taking pictures, taking down addresses. So we can. Otherwise, we'll be talking about it at our next meeting, but oh yeah, I forgot about that, so.
Yes.
Pretty fun idea.
No BCC.
Any other,
BCC only.
That's right, BCC. Any other community updates? Any city updates that you need to know about?
Nothing else.
Um,
Other than, the only other thing would be, we're starting our budget season earlier, as in like November. We're in November now, cause April's an election month, so. How that impacts boards and commissions is just, this board will have to work on the budget sooner, earlier, and work to have it align with the strategic plan.
So is Mayor Arnold up for reelection in April?
I believe there's 2 council member seats and a mayor's.
And the mayor, okay.
okay, so any other business? All right, good, motion to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn.
Okay, second, all
Michael
in,
fight over.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Something we want.
All right, thank you.